Yo, Rush Limbaugh is correct about socialism and the Democrat Party. Look, I'm one Sir Grove. I saw this documentary last night. I wish I knew the fucking source of it. I'll have to look it up, man, and I'll get back to y'all with the source. I'll try to present the information as cogently as I can based on what I recall. So there's a gentleman, I'm just going to say, I put this out there. He kind of looks a little bit like Indiana Jones. Not being stupid, or absurd. I'm just saying, he looks like an archaeologist, researcher, professor type, and he's fucking incredibly knowledgeable about past civilizations, antiquity, ancient history, and archaeocryptology, exopolitics. For those of you who aren't familiar with exopolitics or archaeocryptology, I'm talking about ancient astronaut theory. Anachronisms, shit that's out of time, that's out of place. Technologies like the Antikythera, or some would say, they would pronounce that differently, but Antikythera mechanism that was found in the vicinity of Greek ruins, Greece, and is considered to be the world's first working computer ever located on planet Earth. I'm talking like fucking prehistory shit. The Antikythera mechanism, device. So, knowing that there were civilizations before us far more advanced than we were told in grade school, grammar school, and moving forward, this particular presenter was saying that with regard to, by the way, this is C4CW casting 495 celebrities worldwide. If you are true fans of this show, we495 most certainly appreciate you. So he went on to give a dissertation and lecture regarding World War II, wartime, Hitler, the Nazis, and the technology that the Nazis were using at the time. Again, technology that we were not told was advanced as it is and was. And so he says that as it pertains to socialism and communism, the only difference and again, I'll find the source and I'll get back to you with that source in a follow-up podcast episode. This presenter, is his name Carlson? See, I saw two prehistory guys in a row, and they might have been the same person, it might have been a different person. And they were rather lengthy. They were rather lengthy, but not in a bad way, in a good way. I enjoyed seeing and learning and hearing what I did. But I think the presentation was like over an hour, maybe a couple hours, maybe a few hours. So he goes on to say that the fundamental difference between socialism and communism, despite what you may have been told to the contrary, was that socialism and communism were basically and are the same thing. Same thing. Just two different brands, two different versions. One was the German Nazis and their socialism, which they chose to be relegated to specifically Germany. In other words, they said, socialism is what we will be. It's what we will espouse and adopt as our core system of beliefs. And that will be Germans mostly only here in Germany. Communism, the only difference is that it was the same ideology that you would get from the Communist Party anywhere in the world. Pol Pot, Mao Zedong, Stalin, Mussolini, any of those guys outside, any of those despotic, tyrannical, nihilistic, fascistic, communist motherfuckers outside Germany itself. So in Italy and France and, wherever, Asia, South Asia, Europe, wherever, expanding outward, that would be communism. Socialism, it's just semantics, is what he was saying. It's merely semantics. Socialism was basically communism in Germany. The Germans had their stronghold, their stranglehold, their foothold, their iron-fisted grip, iron fist in and on Deutschland, Germany. And so they called it socialism. Communism, gulags, secret police, same fucking shit. The shit that the Germans, the Nazis, the Stasis in East Germany, all the same shit that was done in Russia. No fucking difference. Absolutely zero fucking difference. And it was the same thing. The Russians and the Germans may have bumped and butted heads at times, but nonetheless, at its core, socialism, communism, overlap, same fucking singularity, single, solitary framework, entity, matrix at its root core existence. So, Rush Limbaugh is absolutely correct on his EIB network today. And what he was again saying was that the socialist Dems, socialism, that's what they represent now. They don't represent anything outside the scope of what I just stated and what Rush Limbaugh stated. He is absolutely correct. When they say they're socialists, they can disguise it as much as they want. They can say that it's not extreme and that they don't espouse and proselytize and share and hold to the same views that the socialists of the past and the communists of the past, because socialists and communists of the past are the same thing. A socialist is a communist is a socialist. They can say that their version is watered down, that they're progressive, and that they're not violent or as aggressive or as destructive. It doesn't matter who they are. Doesn't matter if they're of Jewish heritage or they're atheist or they're agnostic or they're Christian or they're Muslim or they're this or that. If they're part of that shit, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, AOC, Alexandria, Ocasio-Cortez, The Squad, Nancy Pelosi, John Kerry, Barack Hussein Obama, Hillary Clinton, Marxist, socialist, fascist, fucking communist. Doesn't fucking matter skin color. It doesn't matter religion. Self-haters, any fucking buddy, any skin hue, shade, tone, pigmentation, melanin, it doesn't fucking matter. It's the political ideology of fascism. They want to control shit. They want you to lay your weapons down. They want to pretend like they're going to do the same thing. They have no intention of fucking playing along with the collective. They want to control the collective. They want to trick you into fucking laying your weapons down, putting down your weapons, and playing by all of their fucking stupid ass laws where they get into your states. They embed themselves in your states, your towns, your communities, your parishes, your jurisdictions. They want to fuck up all your laws and rewrite your shit. And then they want to make the shit like Seattle is right now. Freeattle, catch and release shit, where the police are told hands off. They want to fill up the jails and prisons so that they're overflowing. And then they want to pretend like they can't lock anyone up anymore for the most part. And that the police have to catch and release. And then they get paid by the fucking drug cartels. They're the ones that create the illusion and make the system appear to be broken because they break it and they have the solution the whole time. They have all the programs that could fix the shit, remedy it, mitigate it, solve it. They have all those keys, all those programs to curb drug addiction, inpatient, outpatient treatment centers like the one out here in the Northeast that they have for opioid addiction. That's one of the most effective, one of the most efficient, award-winning programs in the country. They don't want that shit in fucking Seattle. They don't want that shit in San Francisco. They want those cities to be sanctuary cities so that those politicians, those officials, those quasi-superficial so-called fucking leaders, they can hide out. They can hide out in that shit And they can pretend like they're doing everything under the sun to come up with solutions to solve the crisis that's of epidemic proportions. They're trying to do everything, but their hands are tied. Yeah, they tied their hands to pretend as if their hands are tied. And they broke the system because they're the ones that created the broken system. And while they're pretending to be fixing the broken system, which they could fucking fix very easily, they're getting payoffs from drug cartels, from cabals, because they are a cabal. They're part of a consortium of, they're part of a consortium of cabals. They're a fifth column movement in America and around the world. They seek to subvert world global governments, embed themselves, encroach, and impede progress, real fucking progress in society. And they call themselves, ironically, progressives. They are far from progressive. The only progress they ever seek to make is to undermine and thwart the efforts of a stable global economy and world interconnected system of world governments. That's their fucking plan, is to thwart the efforts of humanity and society. The forward trajectory, the real true progress of society and humanity, and they call themselves fucking progressive because they're diametrically polar opposite opposed to that shit. And that's why Hitler took that indigenous persons, people's good luck charm, and he reversed those four forces of harmony flowing harmoniously in nature. And he made it the swastika because they don't want for there to ever be any type of real, true progress. They only want to give the illusion, present, provide, project the illusion, holographic illusion that they are the ones who are for and about, proponents thereof, progress. I'm one Sir Grove.